So people were asking me about my journey, how I found law of assumption, how I transitioned from law of attraction to law of assumption. I'm just going to tell you guys how it all went down and where I am now and how I got to this point. So I talked about it briefly in my success story video, which I will link or whatever in the video. And basically, I was a law of attraction girl. It was 2020. It was a really, really, really bad year for me. Literally everything you can think of was happening that year. I had health issues, I had financial troubles, I had basically everything in the book. And on top of that, I had to kind of pretend everything was okay in 2020 because I was graduating and whatever, I didn't care anyway, but I was graduating and also COVID was happening. So you can imagine how literally everything just happened at once. So of course I used the internet to try to find a way out of everything that I was going through, and I had come across law of attraction. And when I had come across law of attraction, I believe I started off with YouTube videos. So I went through the typical YouTuber slate of law of attraction YouTubers and nobody helped me. And I was trying every single thing that they said to do and I got no results whatsoever. I even had a spiritual advisor at that time. I had met someone on Instagram and we don't talk anymore as much, but we're still mutuals. We also have the same spiritual advisor in the same situation. So we would really talk about, well, almost the same situation. And we would really talk about it with each other, hold each other accountable, keep each other going, give each other motivation, cry to each other, all that kind of stuff. I don't remember how we found each other. I think it was through my spiritual advisor's comment section, but I don't really remember much and I didn't really feel like looking back. So that's pretty much where I was at. I was doing literally every single thing in the book. I was doing the methods. I was drinking the water. I was doing the 365, the put the whatever under your pillow and it will come to fruition. The crystals, charge your crystals at night, the lower your vibrations, higher your vibrations, whatever it was. I was doing literally everything, listening to frequencies on YouTube and anything you could name. I had my hands on it. You can count on the fact that I have my hands on it. I believed in divine timing. You have to keep your vibrations high to manifest. Spell work, letting go, tarot. I even had a tarot page at the time and I was doing tarot. I was really good though. I was really good. I was amazing. I think I only had one bad review out of all the reviews, and the only bad review was, oh, it didn't resonate. But everything else was really, really good. I was amazing at what I did, okay? And I don't resonate with law of attraction like at all anymore. It's law of assumption. And I think I'll make another video on what the difference is, but for like a brief little summary, if you're really curious and you wanna know, law of attraction is basically asking external forces, the universe, whatever you wanna call it, to bring something to you. Thinking that, oh, if I keep my vibrations high, then the universe is going to bring to me what I asked, or it might not. You don't know. You don't have a choice. You don't have a say. The universe has a say, and it's the universe's choice if it wants to bring it to you or not. You can do everything under the sun and you still wouldn't get it. And to me, that was my issue back then, and I did not like it. And it seemed to me like I was giving too much power to external forces that I didn't even know existed. Law of assumption is basically you're giving something to yourself. It's you giving it to yourself because you are understanding and recognizing that you create. Oh, look at that. The sun came out when I mentioned law of assumption. See, law of attraction is hell. But law of assumption, it's understanding and coming to terms with the fact that your assumptions create your reality. Your assumptions create. No one else's assumptions create. It's your assumptions that create only. With law of assumption, you're not waiting for anything. You're literally just deciding because you're realizing that if your assumptions are the only thing that manifests, if it's just you here, if it's just you that creates, then all you have to do is just decide you want something, select it, and it happens for you. Like I said, with law of attraction, see the sun just went down again. I did not get anything that I wanted when I was practicing law of attraction, and I was definitely doing everything right. You can't tell me I was not, because I know I was doing everything right. I would get signs, I would say, but I would never ever get the full manifestation or even bits of it. I just got signs and I got little angel numbers, and who gives a shit about angel numbers? I'm sorry. I don't care. I want my manifestation. And I think law of attraction can really make people miserable because it's like a 50-50 of if you're gonna get what you want or not. So it's like, okay, I may get it, but I may not get it, but I'm gonna be in this waiting mode and wait to see if I do get it. But then it's like you're putting your entire life on hold because you don't know if you're actually going to get it or not, or when you're going to get it or not. And that can just really, really, really F someone up. So I totally understand why people completely resent law of attraction. I really do. But if you do practice law of attraction, that's on you. That's great. I hope it's working out for you. But for me, I will never be going back there again. I believe my friend came across a Sammy Ingram video eventually. And I don't remember if this was like late 2020 or maybe early 2021. I don't remember. But she came across a Sammy Ingram video and she sent it to me. And I looked at Sammy's video, and it was one video. I don't remember what it was, but I know it was a Sammy Ingram video. I'm like, the sun just came out. Do y'all see that? The sun came out when I talk about law of assumption, because it knows, like it knows law of assumption is that girl, and law of attraction, honey, anyway. I watched the video and I was looking at it. I was like, this lady does not know what she's talking about, like at all. She's talking nonsense. This is BS. I don't believe her. She doesn't know what she's saying. And I thought, I even touched on it in my success story video, but I thought that by doing what she said, because she was throwing all this stuff like, oh, you people don't have free will, and only you decide, and all this kind of stuff. And it was just really too much for me to take in. And I was just like, no, she's wrong, because I was in the law of attraction mindset. Like I was a full-on law of attractionator. And I was like, she's wrong, because actually divine timing does exist, and it is on my side, and the universe and my spirit guides want me to win, and they're going to give me what I want on their time. And honey, when I look back at that, I just gag at myself. Like, not the good gag, but I like genuinely gag at myself, because that was just so disgusting of me. It's like self-hatred for that version of me, because girl, what are you talking about? That's why you didn't even get anything. You didn't manifest anything to back up what you were saying. So why are you talking like that? Like, you're talking crazy. But I thought by practicing law of assumption, I was messing with external forces that don't need to be messed with. I don't know how to explain to you guys what I just said, but that's just my thought process. I thought that I was messing with something. The universe was gonna punish me if I stood in my power, and I did not realize all along that I am the power, and I am the only one who has it, and I'm literally deciding that there is a divine force outside of me who is going to give me what I want in like 10 years. So that's why I was literally in the process of waiting and never actually receiving and getting and experiencing. I watched the video, I said nope, clicked off. I even brought it to my spiritual advisor, and she was like, no. And I was like, okay, because I trusted her, and I still do trust her. I think she's a lovely person, and I still do keep in contact with her, but we just don't have the same views anymore, and that's totally okay. So fast forward to 2021, summer of 2021. During that entire time frame, like I said, I don't remember if it was late 2020 or early 2021 that my friend found Sammy Ingram and sent me the video, but she actually got results from it. She got results, and I think it wasn't right when she sent me the video. She just sent me it, and she was like, I'm gonna try this. It seems like it works. And she kept sending me results during that period of time. So she kept sending me, oh, this worked, and I used Sammy's teachings, and this worked, and I used this video. And I was like, huh? I finally decided I'm gonna give it a try, because what do I have to lose? I'm sitting here waiting in the waiting room, and nothing's happening. And I don't have what I want, and I'm unhappy. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to actually try this. So I clicked on her video again, and I still got the ick. I got a major ick. And I was like, I don't like what she's talking about. I was very stubborn. I was like, I don't want to hear it. 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 She's wrong. I don't want to hear it. But I said, I'm going to actually practice it and decide to test it out. And so I did. I tested it out. I mentioned it again in my success story video, my first ever manifestation. I went in depth in that. It was a lime green car, seeing a lime green car. And for this period, I wanted to test it with something that I knew it would come from me. Meaning I didn't want to test it with seeing a blue car, a red car, a black car, a white car, because come on, we always see those things. But I wanted to test it with seeing something wacky, like a lime green car, because I had never seen that where I lived in Miami at the time. I've never seen it. So I did what she said, which was basically affirm and persist. Repeatedly tell yourself that this is happening now. So I tested it with the lime green car. I was like, I always see lime green cars. I always see lime green cars. And I would talk to myself like that. And I ended up seeing a lime green car. And if you want to hear more about that success story, you can go watch the success story video, because I'm not for making this video too long, and I already explained it. So I told myself that I always see lime green cars. I was like, what do you know? It happened. Like, I did not expect it to happen, but it actually happened. I just kept telling myself that, and I didn't contradict it. And I know y'all are really big on time frames, so how long it took me was maybe, I think the second or third day, I had seen it in a music video, and it was one of my favorite artists' music videos. They're right when they say, inspired action, because inspired action, you're not even gonna think twice about it, because I was not thinking, oh, let me go look at this video and maybe I'll see a lime green card. No, I was like, oh my God, they just released a new video, so I want to go watch it because I love these artists and I love their music, and I've never seen their music video, so I want to go see it. I saw their music video and I was vibing and I was having a great time, and I saw a lime green car. And I was like, that maybe this is a coincidence. I did not trust myself at all. I was like, that's a coincidence. That's not me. But I kept telling myself, anyway, I always see lime green cars. I always see lime green cars. I always see lime green cars. And I believe it was maybe 2 days later, maybe a day later. I really don't remember what happened in 2021. Like, I don't have the best memory, but I can remember my first success story. But it was like within days. It was not within like a long time, like people like to make it seem like. I just kind of didn't contradict what I told myself. And I was in the car, my mom was taking me to my appointment, and I woke up and I saw a lime green car literally parked right next to me, and I was kind of gagged. And I was like, there's no way this happened. I still doubted myself even then. And I just kept I kept affirming, I kept telling myself, I always see lime green cars, I always see lime green cars, I always see lime green cars. And I ended up seeing lime green cars literally everywhere I go. I still see them to this day because I literally nailed that assumption in so hard that it is in my brain still. It is a solid assumption. And I see them on the road, I see them on TV, I see them in music videos, I see them in people's Instagram pictures, I see them on Twitter. I don't even search for them. I see them on Pinterest. And mind you, before all of this, I was not seeing them at all. Like at all. At all. I wasn't seeing them at all. They were not common. So I don't know what happened, but there was a little shift in the system or whatever. But I just told myself, yeah, I always see lime green cars. And boom, I saw the lime green cars. I did this with other success stories as well. And you can go look at my success story video, but I did this with seeing pink cars because after the lime green cars, I didn't believe that was really me. So I did it with pink, purple cars, fancy color cars, rainbow cars, all that kind of stuff, a Scooby-Doo bus, Scooby-Doo van, whatever you want to call it. I did it with literally everything, and I tested it out and I saw them. And then I moved on to bigger things, which was the online school, manifesting my university giving me school online instead of going in person because I was sick. I also did this with getting my dad a job. I did this with my own health story. I did this with literally so many things that I really did this with when I really tested it, and I was really in my affirm and persist, like tell yourself that you have what you want era. I was in my affirm and persist era, and I got a lot of my stuff within 3 days, 5 days to a week. I think the longest anything has ever taken me was probably a week and a half. And I'm not even joking you. It does not take a long time. I'll get into it later, but I think it takes a very long time for people because they think against it and they contradict themselves. And that's really all you have to do is tell yourself you have it and don't contradict yourself. And people they seem to complicate it for whatever reason. And I genuinely think it's because it's so easy that people don't think it's this easy. But it is this easy with literally anything. You can do this for anything, really. You can have anything you want in 3 days, 5 days, a week and a half. But I did not focus on the time when I was manifesting, like at all. Just because I did the easiest thing in the world, which was tell myself I have it and I don't contradict it. Or as Sammy likes to say, affirm and persist. That's literally what I did. So I was getting all this progress and all the success stories and stuff. I still wanted to try coaching with Sammy because why not? Like I really wanted to try coaching with Sammy, and this came after I had manifested really good money for my parents. Like I had manifested my dad getting his job, and therefore we had really good money and he was giving me like allowance and stuff. I bought the coaching, and I bought it because there was this one thing that I really struggled to manifest, and I had no idea why. It's kind of hilarious because the whole time it really came back to you're wavering, and that was why I couldn't manifest it, and I didn't really realize that until I had coaching with Sammy. She said something that really made manifestation click for me, and I didn't really let it marinate back then because I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. After that, through the years, I kind of just look back at her message, at her email, and I'm like, oh, well, it really is this simple. It all came down to tell yourself you have it and don't contradict it. That is all it came down to. Like I said, she said something that really made it click for me. And mind you, this was way back in 2021 when I had her coaching. It went over my head back then because I think it really does go over all of y'all's heads too, but that's okay because you'll get there. But it clicked for me maybe like last year or something, like probably last year or late 2022 is when it really clicked for me. I think it was last year, in the beginning of 2023 is when it really clicked for me, that it was like, what she said was, just assume what you want is true and the old story is no longer the case. Something like that. She said, it's my lock screen. She literally said, All you have to do is assume what you want is the truth, and the old story is no longer the case. And I watched so many of her videos back then that all of it helped me, and I was getting my stuff still 3 days, 5 days, a week and a half, and all that kind of stuff. But this is what really, really made it click for me, because it's like, okay, well, all I have to do is just assume it's true. Like, I don't have to do anything else. I don't want to. All I have to do is assume that it's true. I was very determined to understand manifestation and to get this down. So I had practiced with minor stuff from 2021 to 2022. I took chances on things because I had nothing to lose. I wasn't getting anywhere with law of attraction. So I was like, why not just think in my favor and think that this is going to work out? Took chances on stuff, and I didn't have any room to waver. I didn't have time to waver to think against what I wanted, because I wanted a new life for myself. I wanted to live a peaceful, soft life, and I had no choice but to just tell myself these things. I literally treated this like my life depended on it, because I was manifesting finance, which we were really down in the dumps with finance. I was manifesting health for myself, and my life depended on it. And I did not want to be diagnosed with a life-threatening disease. And so I did it like my life depended on it. And also school, online school. That was one other thing that I really just locked in. I had no choice but to just put my foot down, stomp it, and be like, no, it's going to be like this, because I was not going to put myself in danger, at a risk of danger. I like myself too much. I have too much to experience in life. Why would I want to go out early? Why would I want to die early when I could literally just experience all life has to offer for me? I was literally, 19? Like, what? Are you kidding me? In 2022, late 2022, something really, really major happened anyway, in my family, where my dad literally could have lost his life. And I manifested him. I just like prayer, just like people pray. They're like, oh God, please give him another chance. Please heal him. Please let him heal and be with him, whatever they say, I don't know. It's the same thing with affirmations for me. It's like, okay, you trust in prayer, well, I trust in affirmation. So I literally tell myself, he's gonna be okay, he's gonna be okay, he's gonna be okay, he's gonna be okay. And mind you, my mom called me crying. This is for another video, really, but it's just listen to how much this changed my life. My mom called me crying in the morning. I was off at university in my apartment with my roommates, and I was sleeping, obviously, because that's what you do in the morning. And my mom had called me, and she was crying, and she was like, Dad just had a stroke, and she was in the hospital, and he had to have surgery, and they were afraid that he wasn't going to be able to speak normally again, or he wasn't going to be able to move normally again, or walk again, and all that kind of stuff. And then after the stroke, he had something had occurred with his heart. I believe it was something about blockages. Like, it was like 3 blockages, and I think they said if he had 4, he would have been out. So he had to go through surgery after he had recovered from his stroke, but they didn't know if he was going to recover from his stroke, but he did. And all I did all day while I was going to the hospital, while I was coming home to go to the hospital, I was telling myself, he's okay, he's okay, he's okay, nothing's gonna happen, he's okay, he's okay, he's okay. And I felt so nervous. Like, emotions don't matter. This is another success story for another video, but emotions don't matter, because I was crying, I was scared, I was terrified. I was like, oh my God, what is going on? And so I just kept telling myself, though, even though I felt all those things within me, I felt them very deeply, I just kept telling myself, he's okay, he's okay, he's okay, he's okay, he's okay. And I would not let myself think differently. I was like, he's okay, he's okay, he's okay, he's okay, he's okay. And I just kept affirming to myself the entire time as I was getting ready to leave my apartment, to go home, to then go to the hospital to meet my mom there, who was with my dad the entire time. And then when I got there, he was okay. And I was relieved. I was so relieved. I was so relieved. Basically, I did all this like my life depended on it. Really, I didn't have a choice. I did not have a choice. I just wanted change so bad, and I didn't want anything bad to happen to my family or to myself. So I had no choice but to put this to the test. And guess what? It worked. So by this time, all of this was done. I do remember by maybe 2023, I finally had accepted, okay, well, I actually do create. Like, I knew it before, like, you know how you like know but you don't know? Like, I knew before, like, okay, well, I proved it to myself, so obviously it is me. But it feels different to really come to terms with the fact that you create. Like, you create. Like, really, just think about that. You create your reality. It's all you. Everything is you. You can change situations. I'm one person that does not believe that you create, which no one should believe. You're crazy if you believe this. Like, you're actually batshit insane if you believe that people create like world conflicts, or people create, their mindset creates world conflicts, or it's their fault that people are getting bombed, or it's their fault that this monstrosity happened in this country, or this happened in this country. I think you are insane and you need to be locked up if you think that, because that is not how it works. I don't believe that's how it works. Or if this volcano erupted over here, it's your fault. Oh, you created this tornado, you created this earthquake, you created the hurricane that hit Florida. Are you insane? There are people who think that. Like, they will go in people's comment sections, especially on Twitter, and be like, well, you have to go back and think about your thought process and how you created this. Girl, shut up. What are you talking about? You need to not do that. Like, you need to not tell people that. I do believe that you can absolutely manage. It's just like I said, it's like prayer. Like, people pray, oh, I hope they're okay. I hope this is okay. I hope this is okay. People, you can affirm, like, okay, well, this is fine. This is fine. This is fine. I believe that you can change things in your reality. You can absolutely change things if they show up negatively and you did not think of it at all. It wasn't a thought in your system, like, at all. It didn't come from you. It didn't come from you. Like, we all probably just have the belief, we all probably have the assumption that shit just happens, or the world is just how it is, or whatever, the stuff's gonna happen in the world, bad and good things happen. Like, don't blame yourself. Please don't blame yourself for that. Don't ever blame yourself for any of that. Don't blame yourself for anything that's going on in the world that you literally did not think of. You didn't manifest it to happen. Can you change it? Absolutely. So because I proved it to myself so many times that it was indeed me who creates my reality, it just brought this sense of relief on me. Like, I am the creator. I am the only creator. Like, I just feel so relieved to actually accept that for myself now. Maybe you don't have to test it out. Maybe you can just grasp this concept immediately. If I would have really understood that I am the only creator, then I would not have had to prove it to myself. I would have just been like, okay, I want this and it's done. I'm selecting this and it's done. And I do recognize that people cannot do that, because obviously I couldn't do that either. Like, are you kidding me? It is your assumptions that create your reality, that create your world. Only your assumptions create. Nobody else's assumptions create. It's your assumptions create. Your assumptions manifest. No one else's assumptions manifest. It's just your assumptions manifest. No one else's thoughts create. It's just your thoughts create. If you don't know, your thoughts create your assumptions. That's how you form assumptions. By thinking something is going to be true, or by telling yourself something is true over and over. That is how you form an assumption. You are just experiencing your assumptions, and only your assumptions. So if you think that your life is shit, then your life's going to be shit. If you tell yourself that today's going to be a good day, then today's going to be a good day. It's going to be a fabulous day for you. Your assumptions manifest. No one else has the power to manifest anything in your world but you. Literally, this is your default position, is creator of your reality. Everyone is creating their own reality. They are experiencing life through their lenses, their perception, their assumptions, their thoughts. It's just them. Think of it as it is just you. You are very alone in this world, in the sense that it's just you, because only you have the power to create your reality. You are experiencing life through your lenses, through your perception. No one else's, through your perception, your assumptions. No one else's, just you. This is like default. You cannot, even if you don't know this, even if you don't accept it, this is how it is. This is just how it is. You create your own reality. I didn't accept it. Like, I did not accept it when I was manifesting and I was doing what Sammy said and all that. I didn't accept it, but I got proof of it. I did not accept that this was how it is. I didn't have to, because by default, my world's going to show me anyway that I am in control and I am the only one in total control. Do you see how that works? You can't change it. So get comfortable knowing that you literally create your reality. Just prove it to yourself if you have to, but even if you do prove it to yourself, it's just going to show you what you're trying to prove to yourself. Why? Because you are creator by default. It can't fail you. You can't fail law of assumption. It's a law, just like law of gravity. You literally cannot fail law of assumption. No matter what you think is going to be true is going to be true. What you expect to be true is what's going to be true. When I really took a minute to understand that it is all me and it is just my assumptions that create, it just put me in a better place of control of, okay, well, if I want this, I'm going to get it. I even looked back on situations before I even found law of assumption, and there were situations where I had to ask myself, okay, well, what did you truly think was going to happen without contradicting it? What did you really marinate on was going to happen without contradicting it at all, without expecting the opposite, without going, oh, what if? What did you expect truly? And when I ask myself this about past situations, I ask myself, what did you expect? I look back and I see that what I expected to happen actually happened, because it's like, oh, I knew it. It's like if you're saying, oh, I know, oh, my boss is going to be really mean today, and you expect that to happen and it happens. Oh, my mom's going to scold me about this, and you expect that to happen and it happens. She's going to be this type of way and you expect it to happen and it happens. You know what I mean? Those are assumptions. You're always making assumptions. But if you look back at your assumptions that you made in the past, the assumptions, literally what you told yourself without contradicting it. What you really thought was going to be true and they turned out to be true, that was you practicing law of assumption. That was law of assumption working in real time, even though it's always working, but that's a perfect example of law of assumption. And I did this to myself and it helped me believe more. Reverse engineering, if you would like to call it that. It helps me believe more in my own power of law of assumption, because even if I did not accept that I was in control, I had no idea about any of this at the time, it still worked. Like, it's always working. You can't turn it off. It's not something you can turn off. Like, it really is all me here. And just like it really is all you here. This is why you can have experience A in this scenario, and this person can have experience B in the same scenario, because you both have a different set of assumptions and perceptions. Let's say your boss. If your boss is mean to you at work, your boss is mean to you, you probably have the assumption of, oh, they're a jerk, they're this, they're that, they think they're higher than me, they believe that they're all of that in a bag of chips, and they think that they are just all high and mighty, and of course they're gonna be mean to me because I'm me, and they always treat me this way, and all that kind of stuff. But then you have this person over here who thinks they are the best person on earth, and they think that they are the most amazing person in the world, and that they're the best, and they're really good at what they do, and they have all this confidence, and they think, of course they're gonna be nice to me, they're going to absolutely accept me and be nice to me and actually value me because I'm valuable. And that is exactly what they experience, because that's what they expected to happen from their boss. While you have a negative perception and negative expectations, that's what's going to be shown to you. The world can only mirror to you your expectations and your perception. And this person literally just proved it, because they have positive expectations and perception. And that's what they're going to experience. That's what's going to be mirrored back to them. The point that I'm at now is the point where I can literally just decide and it's done. Like, I could just decide, oh, I have this, and I know that it's done. I assume, oh yeah, this is true, and then that's true. I can just manifest anything I want instantly if I want to. I can manifest anything in 3 days, in a week, in 4 days. If I need money, I know I can manifest it. If I need this to happen, I know I can manifest it. How did I get to this point? Is basically doing what I just told you, but I will tell you 3 key things to what I did to get to this point. The first thing is understanding that it is all you. That is the first thing, understanding it's all you. Once you really come to terms with the fact that it is all you, and all you are doing is experiencing your assumptions and your consistent thoughts that you identify with, it's game over. Like, you just know that you have the power to create whatever you want to create. So just understanding that it is you. And while for me, what I had to do to get to this point was prove to myself that it is me by manifesting random things, or really just by manifesting what I had no choice but to manifest, because I did not want to experience the opposite. So I really had no choice but to go all in. And that is why I am here where I am today, because I had no choice. I treated it as if there was no other option, as if it was just do or die, which really it was. Just understanding that it is you. It is you who creates your reality. It is you. Prove it to yourself if you need to. Make a list of things that you want to manifest, or make a list of random things that you're not attached to, like hearing a rare name, or seeing a rare name that you never see, or seeing a fancy colored car that you never see, like I did, or hearing a specific song on the radio that you haven't heard in a very long time, or I don't know, someone saying something specific to you. If you want to practice everyone as you pushed out, someone saying something specific to you, someone wearing a specific colored dress or a specific colored shirt, or wearing a dress that they don't usually wear. If it's someone who doesn't wear suits or a dress, then manifest them wearing a suit or a dress. If someone never dyes their hair, manifest them dyeing their hair. Manifest someone getting a tattoo, a specific tattoo. Like, whatever you want, manifest someone having a specific haircut or whatever, to prove it to yourself that it is you who creates your reality, because it really is by default. That is your place in reality. But if you need to prove it to yourself, that's fine too. Prove it to yourself that it is you who is creating this thing, so you can finally be at that place where you come to terms with the fact that you are the only one in control. You can even take some time to tell yourself to really meditate on the fact that you are the only one in total control. And what I mean by that is literally just saturate your mind, because saturation really does help you understand things. It really does help you understand that this is your new truth now, and therefore you're just going to be thinking that way really by default, because saturation is saturation and it helps you. Just saturate your mind with the fact that you are God. Or if you don't like to say that, you're the only one in control, you're in total control. Just tell yourself that literally until you feel comfortable. Now, the second thing that I did to get where I am is understanding the law of assumption, understanding what it really is. Just The law of assumption is what you assume to be true is true. And this is a law, just like law of gravity is a law. You don't go outside and you don't expect to just fall down because you know gravity's got your back. Law of assumption is the same exact way. Law of assumption, by default, what you assume to be true is true. Emphasis on the you, because only your assumptions create your reality. It is a law. It is always occurring. It is always working. Law of assumption is not something that you can just turn off like a switch or whatever. It is a lifestyle. It is something that has always been occurring since forever. You've always had assumptions about something. You're always making assumptions about something, and they're always proving you to be right. And you can't turn it off. You cannot turn law of assumption off. It is always working. So really understanding what the law of assumption is, like what the law of assumption is. It cannot fail you. Since it cannot fail you, since you're always creating, you can really just say you're always manifesting, because you are always creating. Your thoughts are always going, and your thoughts are what form your assumptions. So your thoughts do create. Your most consistent thoughts that you think to be true, those are what create your assumption. That's what's going to create for you. The law of assumption is whatever you assume to be true is going to be true. And this is why I think it is so important to really understand it in the beginning, because it can save you a lot of time as beginners if you just know the basics. When you first find the law of assumption, I don't think you really find what the law of assumption is. You more so find people's preferred ways of doing things, such as their preferred methods or their preferred thinkings or whatever. You find people saying to visualize, to script, to do this method, do that method, saturate your mind for this amount of time, this many hours, robotic affirm for this amount of time, do the 10K challenge. And while none of those things are wrong, because I love robotic affirming, saturation, and the 10K challenge, it's not mandatory. That's not what law of assumption is. Those things are methods, and the methods are not what manifests. It's you who manifests, because you have always been manifesting your entire life, and you have always been creating your entire life, because by default, you are always creating your reality, and you don't need methods to do that. You're just creating your reality. You're not taking time out. Before you knew about the law of assumption, you were not taking time out to saturate your mind for 3 hours, or to do the 10K challenge, or to visualize, or to script, or to do all of this. You were just thinking thoughts. Like, you were just telling yourself, this is how it is. Oh, it's gonna be this way. Oh, it's gonna be that way. Oh, I bet this is gonna happen. Oh, this is gonna happen. Oh yeah, I just know this is gonna happen. Or just telling yourself, oh, what if this happens? What if? Telling yourself things that you identify with, telling yourself that this is going to happen, telling yourself that this is going to occur, and it occurs. That is law of assumption. You didn't need methods for that. Methods are a way of creating new assumptions, or to help you stay in the new assumption, or to help remind yourself of the new assumption, help you get used to the new assumption. That's what methods are used for. And I'll make another video about this, but that's, in short, that's what they are used for. Personally, I love methods. I love using methods because I think it's fun. I love saturation. I will saturate my mind for 3, 4, 5 hours, 8 hours if I feel like it, and I don't give a shit who doesn't like it. I like it, so I do it. That is my preferred method. In the past, what I told you guys in the beginning, when I practiced manifestation and I got to this point and I was doing everything without really understanding who I am as creator of my reality, I did robotic affirming. I always see lime green cars. I always see lime green cars. I always see lime green cars. My dad is okay. My dad is okay. My dad is okay. My dad is okay. Oh, they're going to let me do school online. Oh, they're going to let me do school online. Oh, they are so going to let me do school online. Robotic affirming. I did that as well. I love methods. I love methods, and I think they are very helpful. Do I do them still? Yes, I do. I do still do methods. Do I think that you have to do them? No, and I've always been clear about that. It's not the methods that manifest. It's just you who manifest. But the methods can help you manifest. It can help you understand. It can help you create your assumption. It can help you create the new story. I know I don't have to use methods, but sometimes I love to use methods, and I still do saturate, like I said, and I will always stand by the fact that saturation does help you when it comes to fast manifestation. And I think that's just proven with science. Soaking in the fact that this is how it is now, it's literally you rewiring your brain by default. Like that's what it is. It's you accepting, okay, well, this is my new story. Saturation is a method for fast manifestation. Absolutely. It is a method that helps you understand faster. It helps you grasp the idea faster that you have what you want in your life already. So in conclusion, number 1 is understanding who you are as creator, really coming to terms with the fact that you create your own reality. And number 2 is really understanding the entire point of this entire thing. The entire thing is what you assume to be true is true. Watch what you're thinking. Watch what you're telling yourself. Watch what you're feeding yourself. Watch what you're identifying as, because whatever you tell yourself is true is going to be true. Number 3, I already made an in-depth video on, but manifestation is not a process. And that is what really made me understand this as well. And it clicked really at the same time as what I assumed to be true is true. It just clicked for me that it's not a process. It's just, oh, you assume this is true and it's true. You say it's true, you decide this is true, and boom, it's true. And that is what really helps me understand manifestation is not a process. I understand that in law of assumption, if I can desire something, that means that it already exists for me. The possibility is already there. There is nothing that I cannot have and I cannot experience. All I have to do is just tell myself that I have it, and then boom, I have it. All I have to do is decide I have it, and then I have it. Why should it have to take a long time if I understand that I am the only one in total control? First point. And why should it have to take a long time if literally I am the only one here and all I have to do is give myself permission to have it? Is assume it's true, and it's true. Point number 2. It all ties in together, all 3 points. If you know that you are a creator and you know that what you say has to go and only what you say has to go, then why can't you manifest instantly? Why does it have to be looked at as a process? It's just, okay, I assume it's true and boom, it's true. Because you have to realize that this is not a process. You're only treating it as a process because that's what everyone has told you had to do. Or that's what you believe you have to do because you believe that manifestation has to take a long time and you believe that you have to do this, and this before you are finally worthy of your manifestation. But what if I told you you are worthy right now and you can have it right now? You don't have to wait in order to have your manifestation. Waiting is another assumption, another belief that you have subscribed to that you don't have to subscribe to because it's your reality. It's your life and you are creator. So why would you ever have to wait? Why would you have to have a delay? That is all of that insinuates a process. And if you want that, that is cool. You do you. But if you want to manifest instantly, you don't have to wait for anything. I want you to know that. Now, basically how I got to this point of understanding those 3 points, which is what I told you, is by repetition. And I think it is exactly what Sammy says, is if you want to experience instant manifestation or whatever, you have to really get yourself there first with repetition, even though some people don't need to. They can literally just understand the basics like I just laid out for you and be like, oh, okay, cool. But other people may need to repeat those basics to themselves in order to understand it. So if you want to really get to the point of, oh, I can just decide it's done and it's done, I don't have to wait for anything, then just remind yourself of the basics. Repeat the basics. Saturate your mind with the basics until you understand the basics, really. Let it marinate until it clicks for you. When you let the basics click for you, really it's no looking back because now you're set. Now you can do whatever you want. You can manifest whatever you want instantly if you choose to. You can manifest this in 2 days if you would like to. You don't have to have it instantly. You can manifest this in 4 days if you like to. That's what I did to really get myself here on top of proving it to myself in the beginning. But you don't have to prove it to yourself. If you don't want to, you can just skip to the basics and understand it because myself and many others agree that if you understand and grasp the basics, everything else just comes easy and naturally for you. It's your choice whether or not you want to prove it to yourself first like I did, or if you want to just do the basics, or if you want to do both at the same time, that is amazing too. It doesn't matter as long as you get to the point where you understand you are the only one in control and only your assumptions create your reality. That is it. Only you create. Law of assumption. Understand what it is. Whatever you tell yourself is true is going to be true. That is all. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope it helps someone. And yeah, bye.